What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today I am continuing the Toronto Maple Leafs 2021-2022 player previews. I had to redo that intro because I messed up the year, and hopefully I didn't mess it up in the previous videos, but TJ Brodie is the video we're doing today. We're going to be looking at how he has made this team better defensively and why he was a great pickup, a great signing by Kyle Dubas in the previous offseason. So if you are new here, I'd really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe. I know there's a ton of you guys that watch these videos that aren't subscribed. It would really help a lot. I make a ton of Leafs related content. There's a podcast I'm doing coming up very soon. I do a lot of trade rumor talk, news and stuff. I've got some really cool guests coming on soon, and all these player previews, reviews, everything coming up this season. So I'd really appreciate it if you did subscribe. But I don't want to waste any more time. We're going to get right into the TJ Brodie player preview. Now, the reason why this one is one that I'm very excited to talk about is because Brodie definitely made an impact on this team, and I do believe he's going to continue to do that this upcoming season. They're really going to need him to. So he's still 31 years old. He's not older. I see some people talking about how the Leafs blue line keeps, getting older and older and older. The Leafs have to just worry about this year, and that's it. Like, they really just have to worry about this year. They have to be a better team this year. They have to improve, because the only way that this team and this core actually stays together, the management, coaching, whatever, is if they win a playoff round. But they can't just win one. They have to win multiple rounds. They have to be a contender. And TJ Brodie is one of the bigger impact guys, in my opinion, because when they signed him to the contract, there were some people that really didn't like this $5 million cap hit. This contract still has a few years left on it, but I'm definitely okay with it. This is the price you have to pay. And considering some of the prices that have been paid in the offseason for defensemen so far, I think the Leafs got him at a really good price considering what he brings to this lineup. Now, if we're looking at his numbers here, with the Leafs this year, in 56 games played, he had 14 points. But I'm not looking for TJ Brodie to be a massive point producer, because that's not what the Leafs brought him in for. And if you look at the playoff statistics here, he had 2 points. He had a goal and an assist in 7 games. But if you really watch the series, the way that he played defensively, he really contributed to this team in a big way. Throughout last season, going into it, the Leafs were told, okay, this blue line is garbage. They don't have anybody to play with Morgan Riley. But then when they finally brought in TJ Brodie, I think a lot of people were excited. And you look at how the defense performed in the playoffs, they were pretty damn good. Like, this blue line was very good. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I mean, I think people would just be, ignorant to say that the Leafs blue line cost them. The Leafs couldn't score. They couldn't get depth scoring. They couldn't even get scoring from their top players besides William Nylander. So I think that the blue line deserves a lot of credit, and going into this year, they could be stronger with the depth of Rasmus Sandin and Timothy Liljegren as well. So that's very good. And TJ Brodie is one of those guys that defensively just makes this group better and better every time he's on the ice. So if you look at this, and this is from moneypuck.com, I thought this was pretty interesting. In the playoffs this past season, his start of shifts in the neutral zone was 15%. Start of shifts in the offensive zone was only 12%. And then if you move over, start of shifts in the defensive zone was 13%. So he definitely had a lot of shifts that were in the neutral zone, in the defensive zone, and the offensive zone was his lowest. Not by a ton, but you can definitely tell the neutral zone's usually because on the fly, because if you look at these numbers here, start of shifts on the fly, like that's basically what most people's numbers are going to be. But he doesn't get like a crazy amount of starts in the offensive zone. Obviously, you can see a guy like Morgan Riley gets a lot of those. Even though he's his partner, they throw him on the ice there in all situations in the offensive zone. You see a guy like Justin Hall getting a very similar number. Jake Muzzin, he's, the number one defensive defenseman in my eyes, but he only had 150 shifts compared to Brodie's 217. So there obviously could be some different numbers there. Same thing with Dermott and Bogosian and Sandin. So definitely some really interesting numbers to look at there. But what stands out to me is that Brodie's job, and I think Leaf fans finally all agreed that we weren't expecting Brodie to come in here, like I said earlier, to come in here and just blow our minds when it came to his offensive abilities. We didn't need that. He did a little bit more of that in Calgary. Actually, I'm going to try to go back to his numbers here. He was given more opportunities, obviously, in Calgary to be a little bit more offensive. And then his season previous to this one with Calgary, you could see the point totals went down a little bit, so he changed his role a little bit. But he still contributes a little bit in the playoffs. You're not expecting a defenseman, unless he's like some bona fide number one offensive defenseman, have a ton of points in the playoffs. 2 and 7, I'll take that from him, especially the way that he was playing defensively. But you can see the very similar numbers the last couple of years, because I think he realized that his job is, not to be the guy that goes out there and does a little bit of everything. I think they really were just like focused on him helping Morgan Rielly become better defensively and giving this team a boost defensively. And that's what he did. And again, that makes sense going into this year too, because now the Leafs have a solidified top 4. They have Rielly, they have Brodie, they have Muzzin, they have Hall, and then you have Sandin, Dermott, Timothy Liljegren. Like they've got guys that you can throw in there as depth, and they've signed a few guys here and there that'll probably come up and play a few games or whatever. But the biggest thing that the Leafs have now is just somebody that you can always pencil in next to Morgan Rielly, and who knows, this could be the last year that's penciled into. If the Leafs don't re-sign Morgan Rielly, then you're looking at Brodie and other guys. Maybe they bring in somebody else, but we'll get to that another time, and hopefully it just kind of stays the same. But I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, because are you guys really looking for the Leafs to play more of a defensive style like they did down the stretch in terms of their blue line? Because if you watched a lot of the games, while they do have guys that can put up good offensive numbers, it seems like they really took a step back in terms of, being loose in the offensive zone and playing a lot more defensive. And it did kind of make their goal totals go down a little bit, especially from the back end. The Leafs weren't getting a ton of production from the back end. And in the playoffs, you could see the only time that they were really running wild was when they were down by a couple goals, and then they would tie it up really quickly. So are you looking for more of a balance between the offense and the defense? And that doesn't just go for TJ Brodie. Or are you just looking for the Leafs to get in there any way possible and then, play the same style? I don't think anybody would want that, and I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Hopefully I can explain it better, but I'll talk about it in the Muzzin and Rielly ones probably as well, and maybe even the Justin Hall one, because I want to continue to get your guys' feedback. But it seems like the Leafs were trying really hard to play defensively, and they were doing it well, but it kind of made everybody play that type of style, and it didn't really give the Leafs that offensive boost that they had during the regular season. They had it in the first 3 games against Montreal, and then or 3 or 4 games, and then it just went away. The Leafs just forgot how to be an offensive juggernaut for the whole game, and they kind of just gave up. And then at the very end, they just, now we can play offensively. So I don't really like that, because it reminds me of, the previous coaching and everything like that, trying to have a very defensive style of game and not have that boost of energy that they had offensively. Hopefully I'm not going on too much of a rant here, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But I really want to see the Leafs play defensively, but also don't give up on their offense. So that's basically what I'm trying to long-winded rant. But TJ Brodie, let me know what you guys think. Is he going to have another big year this year? Do you think he's going to fall off a little bit? Maybe is he going to put up more points? Please let me know in the comments section down below. Again, like and subscribe if you're new. I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.